What's up, everybody? Welcome to the newest episode of The Endzone. It's your boy Craig.
Your boy Ace.
And we're here for another week of football content. Before we jump into the football stuff, we're going to give you a couple updates of what's going on in sports in general. Unfortunately for us Boston fans, and the one thing that me and Ace definitely do agree on is, unfortunately for the Boston Bruins, they fell in Game 7 to the St. Louis Blues 4-1. And luckily for myself, I was at the Wu-Tang concert, so I didn't have to specifically witness this.
Wow, you're taking the easy way out.
Yeah, I took the easy way out. I mean, I thought they were going to win, so I figured, being at Wu-Tang wouldn't matter, but
I think it was heartbreaking. I was really pulling for them to win, but Boston fans are so used to every sports team winning everything, so you can't really win them all. So
you can't win them all.
At the end of the day,
proof of that.
You gotta take the good with the bad, and I think it's something to build on for next year, and hopefully them guys get hungry and be ready to go for next year.
This is my opinion, was really like a game of the goalies, like whichever goalie was hot that game. Because, I mean, when it came to Rask and Jordan Bennington, like these guys played phenomenal.
Yes.
In the goal position. They weren't letting up any easy buckets, and the ones that were easy were small mistakes that were made. But Jordan Bennington, definitely the saving grace of this Blues team.
And I absolutely agree with you. And I think the Blues is just more physical.
Absolutely.
They look way more physical. They look faster, stronger, as we say, physicality of it. So I just think, honestly, me liking the Bruins, I think the Blues actually deserved it more.
Yeah, they wanted it more. They've never won a championship, so this is their first championship. So that's a big congratulations to them. They're not a team that I hate, so it doesn't really hurt me to have the Blues win a championship. It just sucks that they had to beat the Bruins to get it. But a big hats off, big congratulations to that entire team.
Yeah.
Next on the list, this was something I felt like I was a little bit more excited for because there was no stakes in it, but the Toronto Raptors dethroned the Golden State Warriors. Absolutely. Big round of applause to them, and a big hats off to, I think I always say his name wrong, but Kawhi Leonard? Kawhi Leonard.
Yes.
Big hats off to this guy. You had a lot of diss around your name. A lot of people thinking you were one type of person. You get traded to a team, and you show everybody that, when the situation is right, you're a team player, and you can make the difference.
Listen, he's arguably one of the most underrated players in the NBA. And I'm not saying this just because he won a championship. I'm just saying this because I watch a lot of basketball. People who don't watch basketball always, like we talk about all the time, we let the reporters project on how we feel about a player. But in this situation, you have a guy who told San Antonio that he was hurt. They didn't believe him that he was hurt. They wanted him to go out there and play, and he just didn't want to go out there and play to hurt himself even more.
Correct.
Kind of like a Kevin Durant situation.
Yeah.
And
he wants longevity.
Exactly. Yeah. He didn't care about the now. He cared about his future, which is respectable from a guy like and his
100%
caliber.
100% respectable.
And then now he gets traded, and then you bring him. You go him and Danny Green because they got traded together.
Yeah.
Then they go out to Toronto, and then, hey. People are always like, oh, well, Kevin Durant got hurt. Well, didn't Golden State beat Houston without Kevin Durant? And Houston was arguably one of the best. Houston was arguably one of the best teams that they was going to play versus in that series.
And
okay,
correct me if I'm wrong, though. They have 4 All-Stars on their team.
Exactly.
4 guys who can go to any team and lead that team to victories. So because one of them's gone?
Exactly. And then everybody used to say, oh, they don't need Kevin Durant. They don't need. Well, obviously you did, because his impacted what happened. And then also, you got Klay Thompson. He goes down. Again, injuries is part of sports. People get hurt every day.
Every day.
And what you do to capitalize off that speaks volumes, because if they didn't capitalize off of Klay Thompson and KD being hurt, then we'd be talking about this is the worst sports team in history because they couldn't beat them when they was down. Well, they beat them when they was down. They deserve it. Kawhi Leonard, enjoy your championship. Hopefully you sign again with Toronto. and enjoy life out there. You see like the fans is giving them like free food, free housing. They're giving them everything, and it's like I was talking to one of my friends about this. Is like only reason why I like Kawhi to stay in Toronto, because for people who don't know or don't watch sports, Toronto is in Canada. That's a whole nother world. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you can be the best player in that world.
Yes.
Instead of being in the U.S., whereas we all know everybody looks up to LeBron as the best player in this world.
Yeah.
So why not go and be the next best player in the next country? You know what I'm saying? And it's fine.
You brought a championship to this team. This team is going to love you as long as you're there. You might never win them another championship, but you're the guy who brought them there first.
Yes.
And you can't have that conversation and not put this victory on Leonard's back. Like, he came in and he turned that team around, and I was definitely rooting for the Raptors, because I'm not gonna front. I like the Warriors. I'm a bandwagon Warrior fan.
I hate them.
I'm a bandwagon Warrior fan just because I like Stephon Curry and I like KD. I don't care about the other guys.
Because you're light skinned, so
yeah, you know, I like them light skinned.
Light skinned guys,
yeah.
Light skinned guys stick together.
Yeah, we do. And I like how he can shoot the lights out from like damn near half court. I like all that stuff, but I feel like Golden State Warriors were kind of becoming the New England Patriots. You know, people just expecting them to win all the time. They had such a dynamic team. And it is a little bit different in the way that they're doing it with stacked talent, and the Patriots do it with great coaching. But it was become one of those things where you almost expect them to win. And I'm extremely impressed and they did win games, you know, with almost a full roster. So I can't see that anybody can say that the Raptors stole this win away because of KD and then because of Klay Thompson. I just don't agree with that at all.
You want me to tell you what I love the most about it?
Yeah.
Is the last person who won the championship, a three-peat, was my guy Kobe Bryant. Favorite athlete in the world, guys, by the way. He was the last person who won a three-peat in the NBA. When LeBron was in Miami, he went back-to-back with that team, with Dwayne Wade and them.
Yeah.
Who killed his dreams? Kawhi Leonard in San Antonio Spurs.
Oh, really? That's what killed his dreams?
Yeah.
Oh, I did not know that.
And
I don't
now,
follow enough basketball to know that.
Yeah, and now Steph Curry and them about to go back-to-back three-peat. Yeah. Kawhi Leonard kills their dreams with Toronto.
Yeah.
So Kawhi Leonard, a.k.a. the Dream Killer.
Dream Killer.
The Dream Killer. You know, the Dynasty Killer, or whatever you want to call him.
I do want to take a second. You kind of surprised me a little bit, and I don't hate your choice, but Kobe Bryant over Michael Jordan, huh?
Well, you got to understand, the reason why I say Kobe Bryant, because I'm 32 years old, and I saw
Kobe.
I saw Kobe's whole career compared to watching Michael kind of like in the middle to the end of his career, and I was younger, so I don't really remember. But everybody knows
didn't have
Michael.
Enough appreciation for it.
Exactly. So for me, I'm always gonna say Mike's the man. But as far as my favorite will be Kobe because of who I saw. It's just like asking a kid walking the streets right now, asking a high school kid who's your favorite, they're gonna say LeBron or KD. When it's like you're not gonna say Kobe. But then again, it's like, you're 32 years old. They never watched Kobe play. They didn't see what Kobe did, you know? And it's like, so that's how I feel for myself. So if you're a little bit older, like if you're in like the 36, 37 range, like I say from like the 35 to the 45 range, you're going to say Mike all day. Yeah. But someone who's like 30, 35 and under, they might say Kobe. And if they say Michael Jordan, they're just saying it just because of what they watch from YouTube or whatever, not because they actually sat down and watched full games of Mike. I watched him win championships and stuff like that, you know?
That's me. Like, I'm not a true basketball fan, right? I am a Kobe fan. I'm not a LeBron fan. I respect LeBron the man, but I don't care about LeBron the player.
That's how I am.
Yeah, I respect LeBron the man because that's
what he does in the community and stuff like that. I respect him 110%. LeBron the basketball player, I just
whatever.
But
Michael Jordan, I didn't watch basketball as a kid, and I don't really watch basketball that much as an adult. But I just, Michael Jordan, 6 championships. The only time, if he had played, maybe if he had played the seasons that he retired, he might have had more than 6. You never know what happened, but I'm definitely, in some ways, kind of a bandwagon Michael Jordan fan. When it comes to any sport besides football and football and MMA, I'm pretty much bandwagon besides Boston teams because I don't know a lot about it.
Yeah,
So.
and that's how I feel. So it's like that's why I always love like testing people. Like, tell me Michael Jordan stats. People my age, I'd be like, tell me Michael Jordan stats. Well,
6 championships. That's it. That's all they know.
We all know he scored 60 plus in a game.
Yeah.
You know, like we all know he played. Yeah, we all know he played with the flu.
Over.
We all know he won a championship when his dad died. We all know these type of things. Tell me something significant like that I wouldn't know, that the regular people wouldn't know.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's why I love talking to like my uncles or my older cousins or my dad about Michael Jordan. They'll tell you like, oh, nobody could hold his jockstrap. Like, and that was they'll tell you back in the day they was playing defense. Back in the day you had guys clotheslining you. Back in the days Michael Jordan, like, and this is what people don't realize about basketball since we're on this subject is Michael Jordan, I know this myself, is that he stopped so many greats from winning championships, but they got Hall of Fames, but they're not champions.
Like
someone like Charles Barkley, who we watch arguably all the time on NBA TV and stuff. He's a Hall of Famer, but he's not a champion.
No championships.
Allen Iverson, those guys like that, they're Hall of Famers, but they're not champions. Why? Because Mike was running through all of them.
Yep.
Bad Boy Pistons, all of them guys. Like, that was before my time. John Stockton, Karl Malone. These type of guys didn't win championships because of Michael Jordan. But nowadays in the NBA, guys is beating LeBron James. You get what I'm saying? Guys is out there winning championships. So you're not stopping these guys from winning championships. Kobe Bryant got 5 rings. He stopped a few greats from winning championships himself. You know,
absolutely.
But our problem is when we got rid of Shaq. That's when it fell apart. Who knows? He could have more rings too if Shaq would have stayed.
I agree 100%
you know what I mean?
with
Like,
that.
so it's like, it's things like that where people don't look
because
to the
Shaq got
nitty-gritty.
another ring. You know, with
he
the
left.
Heat. After he left, he go to the Heat, he gets another ring. You know, that's
with Dwayne Wade early in his career.
Exactly. And Dwayne Wade gets a ring with just Shaq, but got shut down from their first ring with when he first was with LeBron. That first season, they didn't get no ring.
And then they went back to back.
And then they went back to back. But you know what I'm saying? Like I remember thinking that because we were the ones who stopped them from making it to the championship, and I remember being so happy about that because they were like, not 1, not 2, not 3, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, all right, whatever, man. You know, we'll see what happens. But I wish I did watch basketball back then, though, because I had this conversation, and we could talk a little bit about basketball right now because there's not a lot of things going on in football. But it's a little slow right now. But what I do like is that people talk a lot of trash. You kind of said it a little bit. Defense was stronger back in Jordan's day. People were trying to actually hurt you. You know, they used to try to elbow Michael in his mouth when he would stick out his tongue. And people were like, oh, you think LeBron would be afraid of that? Yes, I think LeBron, if he got tagged, would immediately cry about that.
Just think about someone like Rasheed Wallace. Rasheed Wallace used to go out there and just get technicals purposely. So him going down and LeBron going up for a dunk, he comes down and clothesline him. Rasheed was doing things like that.
Dennis Rodman,
Gary Payton, the glove. Like, these type of guys didn't care who you was. They was out there to intimidate you, and if you didn't have that oomph, like I tell anybody, is this. Back in those days, the NBA was different, whereas I feel like it was harder because you could do different things and not almost be penalized for it. Nowadays, they go up, touch fouls, boom. But again, nowadays you got like these hybrid kids, a Kevin Durant who can handle the ball and play 1 through 4, 1 through 5. You got LeBron James who can play any position out there. These guys is not even human beings; they're hybrids. Like, you get what I'm saying? So it's like I understand the part where people be like, "Oh well, they can keep up." Yeah, Kevin Durant wouldn't be going to the hole dunking on nobody back in the day, but he'd be sitting around the 3-point line hitting threes. I give you that.
They wouldn't.
You know what I mean? You would have to have a jump shot. You know what I mean?
They wouldn't suck, but I don't think that. I think
they wouldn't be dominant.
They wouldn't be dominating people the way these guys used to dominate.
Think about like the Sean Kemps, the Gary Paytons, the Bad Boy Pistons, the Reggie Millers. These type of guys really did it day in and John Stockton, Karl Malone.
Who played for the Celtics?
Like you talk about like D Brown type?
D Brown.
Back in that time,
I love D Brown. Man.
Like it was almost crazy to see like all these guys we named don't have championships because of Michael Jordan.
Right. It's crazy.
You get what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying, man. And
then we can name like the Dirk Nowinski's now in the days. He got championship. He beat LeBron. Mm-hmm. The Golden State Warriors, they got championships.
Spurs,
they beat LeBron.
With
the Spurs with Tim Duncan, Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili. They had Danny Green, who just won a championship with Toronto. Kawhi Leonard, who just won a championship with Toronto.
He was on the championship?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Kawhi, how you say it again?
Kawhi?
Kawhi.
Yeah, Kawhi got what, 3 rings now?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
3 rings and 2 NBA Finals MVPs.
Wow.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
And then one year, he could have won it again, but he got hurt. And he was out for that next season. Well, out for a lot part of that season.
Damn, he's been in the league a while. I didn't realize he was in the league that long.
He was in the league for a little bit. He's been in the league for I want to say 6-7 years now.
Wow.
Yeah.
I thought it was more like 4. Like 3,
a
4
little
years.
longer.
Oh,
Yeah.
Wow.
Came from San Diego State. And it's like, to see that and see what he did with a Toronto team like that is it's incredible. If you love anything about sports, whether you're a Golden State fan or whether you're a Celtics fan, no matter what kind of fan you are, if you just love sports in general, you love what he did, for this franchise.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Then got Drake on your back, stuff like that.
Drake.
Everybody's like, yo, tell Drake to shut up. I'm like, yo, listen. And that's another thing when we talked about last week is only way you could tell Drake to shut up is you beat that team. You can't. He's a fan. You can't tell fans what to do.
You know what? That's true.
You know what I'm saying? Fans
That's
is
true
fans.
because when we win and people want us to shut up, we ain't shutting up. So I will give it that. I just feel like Drake just be so thirsty.
He can be thirsty, but he's a fan.
He is a fan.
You get what I'm saying? He don't care about, for instance, me and you talk all the time. You're a fan, I'm the player, and it's I'm talking from a logistic point of view where people won't even pay attention to. You're talking from a fan point of view where I won't even pay attention to. And that's part of being a player and playing the sport, and that's part of being a fan of a sport. Because as a fan, you don't care what's going on. You care about wins and losses.
Yeah.
You care about championships. Anything outside of that, you don't give a rat's ass about.
Yep.
So it's let's be real now. When Boston's winning championships, people don't care about none of that. They care about did they win or did they lose. You know what I mean? They don't care about halfway stuff.
And
did they win or did they lose? If you're not
on that team, if you're not with that team, you're just hating because you didn't win. So
exactly,
it's a valid point right there. Very valid. All right, let's move on from basketball and get into the football.
Wait, hold on. You didn't mention my guy though.
Oh,
shout out to my Lakers.
Put it on there. Put it on.
He's trying to run away from.
Put it on him.
Shout out to my Lakers, my guy AD Anthony Davis to the Lakers. Salute you for that.
Well, I gotta say something though. They gave away the farm.
No, we didn't.
They gave away the farm.
I'm excited to see what you're gonna do over there. We're gonna go to the ship next year, baby. Get ready. We might even win a ship again. Die hot Lakers fan, no bandwagon over this side.
I hear you, but they gave away way too much to
How?
get one. They gave away the number 4 overall pick.
Time out. Number 4 overall pick. Who was that?
I don't know who's
He's not Jamal. He's not Ja Morant.
This year's number 4 overall.
Who was that?
I don't know who's gonna be
not
number 4.
Not Ja Morant. Not Zion Williams. Who cares? Next.
Okay.
Those are the 2 best players in college basketball.
And then they gave away another first-round pick in this year's draft because they had 2.
Who cares?
Okay.
See you later.
Then, now I don't like him, but I feel like isn't he talented? Isn't Lonzo Ball good?
Lonzo Ball is injury prone.
Oh, is he?
Injury prone.
Okay.
And the last 2 seasons there, he's been injured more than half the season.
He's been playing for 2 seasons? I thought he got drafted last year.
No, 2 seasons.
I guess I really ain't paying attention. All right, so.
And then he got to fix his little jump shot where he comes around the world and shoots.
I hate his dad. And
I don't knock his dad. His dad is a marketing genius. So I don't
but his dad's also stealing his son's light. You know what I'm saying?
But he's a marketing genius for his brand.
He is a marketing genius, and I understand what he's doing. But this is supposed to be your kid's moment to shine, and you're like Diddy all up in the video.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can
dancing in the video.
Yeah. You all dancing in the video and shit. Back up. Let him have his moment. And he ruined. I'm not gonna say he ruined his 2 other kids' lives. But he set his kids back, pulling them out of school and sending them overseas. You know what I'm saying? Giving your kid a sneaker deal before he's legally supposed to have a sneaker deal. That's not smart.
Yeah.
You're ruining your kids.
I agree with you on that, but let's look at the longevity of the situation. What's his name? LaMelo?
Yeah, LaMelo, and then
Is that the youngest one? And
the youngest one is LaMelo.
Okay.
Yeah.
So LiAngelo's the other one that
Yes.
played for UCLA and got caught up with the stealing.
Correct. Stealing sunglasses, got arrested.
So LaMelo, what if he pans out and makes it to the league? Then everybody's
I think he's gonna pan out, and I think he's gonna make it to the league.
But then now you gotta look at it like,
But
what his dad did could be right.
maybe, but maybe not. Like giving him a sneaker deal, you did that for yourself.
Yeah.
You didn't do that for your son. You did that for yourself.
But then they also got all that money stolen from him from the guy that's supposed to be his friend.
Yeah.
So it's like, I understand where you're coming from. I just love his marketing strategies, bro.
I just don't like him.
I don't really either.
Yeah.
I'm not telling you I like him, but I just like his marketing strategies.
Yeah, he's
that's
smart.
it.
I mean,
Yeah.
he did try to go real big and get $1 billion deal for his sneaker contract through Nike. That was some dumb. That was an overreach and a half.
Yeah.
But I do agree that he does have good marketing skills. Him and his son were on every single television program from WWE to talk shows, and that was because of him.
Yep.
He's the reason why they were on all those things. But you were shining instead of your son. This was his moment, and you took the spotlight, and I didn't really appreciate that. So, but I do think they gave up a lot, but I do like AD, and the combination of AD and LeBron is going to be hard to stop.
Josh Hart, we got rid of.
Yeah.
Lonzo,
Yeah.
the 4th pick.
And there was a third player too, wasn't there? I don't know what his name was.
What's his name? Ingram, Brandon Ingram.
Yeah, Brandon Ingram.
But what you can do is, I didn't want them to give up.
They still got Rondo, right?
Yeah, Rondo's still there. You know, you still got Rondo. You got AD. You know what I mean? And then the thing is, you still got Kyle Kuzma.
Yes.
Kyle Kuzma's still a 20-point walking bucket, 20-point scorer.
Is that the tall dude with the braids?
No, that's Ingram who they let go.
Oh, see, I like him.
Kuzma's a light-skinned dude, light-skinned dude.
Yeah.
But I like Ingram too, but in this situation, that's why I say I don't feel like we gave up a lot, because those 2 draft picks, you don't know if they're going to pan out or not.
That's true.
Josh Hart didn't really do too much, and Lonzo stays hurt, so in all, we only really lost Ingram. You get what I'm saying?
Ingram,
and now if you go out there and you bring in someone like Bradley Beal, or, you know, Klay Thompson, but he's hurt right now, but you still can pick him up.
There's a lot that they can do to make this team
a lot better.
And
Carmelo Anthony can come back into the league. You get him.
That would be dangerous.
Get a veteran max.
But you know
get what I'm saying? Those are things. These are moves that you can make in order to make that team better.
I feel like Carmelo was a bad decision. I don't think Carmelo was playing basketball for the love of it anymore. I think he was playing for a paycheck.
Because at the end of the day, look where he's playing.
Yeah, he was definitely not playing anywhere good.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. I feel you. Maybe it could give him a resurgence. I don't know.
Now he was out for the year. Now you be like, all right, Carmelo, I need you to be that guy that's gonna come give me that spot off the bench.
I do have to say that I'm hating because I wanted AD. I wanted AD to be a Celtic.
But the Celtics did this. I'm not gonna knock this, right?
Yeah.
I feel as though AD, like he said, if I go to the Celtics, it's only gonna be for 1 year.
Yeah.
Boom. So I think the Celtics did it smart by not allowing for him to go to the Celtics and get rid of Jason Tatum and those type of guys, because those
I
are
definitely wouldn't have given up. I wouldn't have given up Tatum.
Yeah, especially if you don't know if Kyrie's coming or going.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like in that situation, you don't want to give all that up.
Yeah,
knowing you don't
absolutely
know you don't know what's going to happen with your superstar of the team, which is Kyrie. So it's like if you can get rid of Kyrie and bring in some other players, then they can still be good. But at the end of the day, I think the Celtics did it smart by just not giving up too much to get them. You know what I mean?
I
like the Celtics too. You know, I'm a diehard Lakers fan, but I like the Celtics. I respect them, and I respect the moves that Danny Ainge makes because he knows basketball. He's been there, done it. So it's like you can never disrespect someone who's been there. You know, like that's how it goes.
And he does have. We do have egos on the team, but I think we can make it work. Hopefully next year is gonna be a better season for us.
Don't count on Terry Rozier though. I think they should ship him away. But
really, I like Terry.
Yeah, but he's not. He's only a Boston guy. He's like a IT.
Yeah,
He's good in Boston because the Boston fans make him who he is. But once he goes to another team, he's gonna be 6th, 7th, 8th man on the team.
I agree, which is why I wouldn't be mad if we let Kyrie go and let Tatum be the star of the team. I wouldn't be mad about that.
Okay.
All right, let's try to get some of these football updates out
Yes.
the way. But congratulations.
Thank you so much, sir.
Because I think
that's the best thing you said. And this is our 10th episode, 10th week, and that's the best thing he said to me in all 10 weeks. Thank you, sir. I really appreciate that.
Oh, that's awesome. All right, so the first bit of news is the journeyman, Josh McCown, announces his retirement after 17 seasons. And he's going to become an ESPN analyst. Probably one of the best journeyman quarterbacks. Pretty much played for half the NFL.
Yep.
What do we think?
I think it's great. His numbers ain't that hot.
No.
I was looking at his numbers, and I don't
Yeah.
even want to read it because it's kind of like embarrassing. But
He did have one hot season for the Bears.
one hot season.
Yes, where I have to say it, he was he is currently the Bears' all-time passer rating leader with a 101 rating.
Okay.
So that's the most.
He
Yeah.
played 99 games,
Yes.
17,000 yards.
Yes.
Most quarterbacks go for that in 2-3 seasons.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, no, not two. Definitely like three.
What we say 3.
Yeah.
98 TDs,
Yeah.
82 picks.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like, and he's been sacked 235 times.
That's the one. That's the one I was waiting for you. Is the 98 touchdowns, but 82 picks.
So it's like, I respect you as a journeyman, and you spent 4 years in Arizona, 3 years in Chicago, 2 years in Carolina, 2 years in Cleveland, 2 years New York Jets, and 1 year Oakland, 1 year in Tampa. So I respect all of that. I just don't want him to go on TV and act like a Tony Romo.
Oh yes.
Because I hate Tony Romo on TV.
Oh, you
broadcasting.
hate Tony Romo on TV.
Yeah, I really don't like him because he swears like he knows the game so much, but it's like, bro, relax.
He did have that one good, really called game.
One out
Yeah.
of a million, and then he was holding his jock strap like if he was the best thing
Yeah,
ever.
yeah, I
so
agree.
don't act like that. But if he was to go on TV and he just be himself and talk football regularly, I think he's gonna be
He
great.
over talks. I think that's what he
Yeah.
does. I think he over talks.
And he hates a lot on teams. Like,
Yeah.
like for instance, like we are like you love the Patriots, but you talk about every team and confidence and
yeah.
different, whatever. But he just like he almost like if you ever watch him do a Dallas game, he almost hates on Dak Prescott the whole time. It's like things like that. You almost hate on Tom Brady the whole time. It's like don't be a
hear what you're
hater.
saying.
You know what I'm saying? Don't be a player hater. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna be on TV and you're gonna be a commentator, commentate.
Yeah.
That's your job, just
and
to commentate.
You're supposed to be
No
completely
opinionations.
impartial. Yeah, you can always say a certain like a thing here and there, but you're supposed to be impartial so that both sides of the fence feel like you're just giving them insight on
Yes.
the team. But weird enough, I've never even heard of this school. He went to Sam Houston University, drafted, which I also didn't know this, drafted by the Cardinals in the 3rd round with the 87th pick in 2002. So since 2002, he's been in the league, and it has been a mostly unimpressive career. The one, I will say this, not last year, obviously, because he didn't play last year. The year before that, I was very impressed with what he did with the Jets. He went to a team that didn't have a star on the entire squad, and I think that might have been one of his better seasons. They didn't win a ton of games, but I thought that it was a pretty decent performance.
But
by him.
that year the Jets had a pretty good defense too. That year
They did have they had decent defense, but like their number one wide receiver was Quincy Enunwa, and then Robbie Anderson. They didn't have a tight end. Actually, I think they had Austin Safarian-Jenkins, and that was the 1 year Austin Safarian-Jenkins had a good season. But their lead running back was someone whose name I can't even think of. But they did have Bilal Powell. I can't remember who that. Oh, they had what's that dude? He used to play for the Bears, Matt Forte. They had Matt Forte, and they had Bilal Powell. So like he did a lot with that particular offense. I just respect the fact that this dude, no matter how many teams he plays on, he plays with true grit. Like he plays as hard as he can. He's just not very good.
Yeah. Damn, 2002, I was probably like a sophomore in high school.
I was already graduated from high school.
Wow.
I was out of high school for 2 years when he got drafted into the NFL. But this dude had a long... man, 98 touchdowns, 82 interceptions, a 68% 60% pass to completion. Man, this dude.
Horrible.
What's crazy is he has 2,627 attempts, but only 15. I'll round up 1,600 completions. Like, you missed over 1,000 completions. You missed over 1,000 completions in your career.
That's horrible.
That is so bad.
That's terrible.
Like, Josh, man, it's amazing. Yo, and this is what's crazy. A guy with this career, right? He gets signed to teams, made starting quarterbacks here and there, or backup quarterback here and there, but a guy like Colin Kaepernick cannot get a job in the NFL right now. Like,
you know why?
Yo, we know why. We know why.
Sad
day when a guy like Colin. Now, I will say this. I do not think Colin Kaepernick is starting caliber quarterback anymore, but the fact that he is not a backup on the team, it just blows my mind. And, yeah, we do know why that is, but it's still mind-blowing to know that you can have a guy like Josh McCown and Tom Savage and Mark Moore and Mark Sanchez. Mark Sanchez is playing in the NFL and not Colin Kaepernick. Like,
get him out of there.
I could probably play better quarterback than Mark Sanchez. Probably not. But Mark Sanchez is terrible. I think he might have retired by now. So thank you, Josh McCoy, for playing football.
He played.
Thank you for playing. And I hope you have more success as an analyst than you did as a NFL quarterback.
Yes.
And with that being said, next on the list is there's drama in New England. There's always some drama. So, for those who don't know, real quickly, the Houston Texans negotiated a contract or approached Nick Caserio about taking over the GM position after letting go of Brian, whatever his last name was. Brian Gaines. They let go of Brian Gaines. They offer the job to Nick Caserio. Nick Caserio has been on the Patriots since 2001, and right now he's signed to 2020. And that is a violation of the NFL's policy. It's considered... Damn, why did I forget that one? Tampering. It's considered tampering. So in order to keep Nick Caserio, the Patriots file a lawsuit against Texans, and then Texans turn around and they part ways with Nick Caserio. But
Not yet, though.
No, they part ways with him. They stopped the deal, and then the Patriots dropped their suit. Now, Nick Caserio wants to leave the Patriots. What do we think? It's a lot of drama.
When I was looking through it, it really said like they was going back and forth on it, and he wanted out.
Yeah, he wants out.
But then the Patriots,
because he wants to work with his boys.
Yeah, and then you know, the golden era in New England is only going to be one more year left for Tom Brady. He's already making that be known that he got one more left in the tank. But it's like, if you listen to what the Texans said that they didn't do no tampering, they didn't do no wrong. They followed the NFL rules and regulations. But then, you know, Patriots is Patriots. So you never know what to believe when it comes to the Patriots, because they do a lot of BS. And then when people do BS to them, they're quick to sue them and stuff like that.
Whoa, pause, time out. Whoa, I think you meant that the wrong way. I think what you meant to say is people do a lot of BS.
No,
but then when the Patriots do it, people start crying about it. Like, you know, all these little things that have happened.
So who's the crybabies in this situation?
In this situation, the Patriots are absolutely being crybabies about the situation.
So that's why I said what I said, because if this man don't want to be there, let him go.
I would like you to give me another example of a time the Patriots were crybabies over something somebody else did.
Spygate, Deflategate.
See? That's the opposite.
That gate,
that's the opposite.
They're everywhere.
Let's be clear right now.
Like this football Deflategate.
ESPN had to retract their statement about Spygate on the Patriots because it was a false allegation. Second of all, the Patriots weren't the only team that did it. We were just such a winning team that we were the ones who got punished for it. Now,
did you just say what you just said?
I said what I just said.
Okay.
That everybody did it, But the Patriots were the ones who people cried about.
So ESPN made a statement to say sorry, but then it came out that everybody else was doing it too.
No, but the player that I'd have to really read the details.
It was a lot of BS.
I wasn't.
But you can see the Patriots guys like this on their cameras
I wasn't prepared.
And this, that, and
I wasn't prepared for this particular topic, or I would have had notes on it. But Spygate.
That's the better beauty of it. Go ahead.
Spygate was baloney. Now let's go to Deflategate, because Deflategate was the worst piece of garbage I've ever heard in my entire life. Let's talk about just the scenario of the game. The Patriots come out and they're kicking the Colts' ass, right? And then the Colts say, oh, the balls were, they gave a ball up, snitching, that the ball was deflated, right? So now, during halftime, they inflate all the balls. What happens after halftime? Oh, we beat them even better. We get even better. So we were actually at a disadvantage with this deflated ball, right? But on top of which, who makes sure that the balls are supposed to be inflated before the game starts? The refs. They're supposed to do a PSI check, right? So if the balls weren't properly inflated,
Depending on the ref.
I'm just saying.
You know, like I know, Patriots got a lot of people in their pockets. So
that is so false.
I'm not trying to hear that.
Oh my God, guys, I am so sorry right now that we have this going on right now. We have a conspiracy theorist over here who's trying to hate on the Patriots, but no. The refs are supposed to check the PSI. That's their job. If I'm speeding on the highway and the cop points his radar gun at me and sees I'm doing 100 and he doesn't pull me over and I get in an accident, he's just as at fault as I am. See what I'm saying? If the PSIs were down, it was on the refs. Second of all, they even proved that the possibility of, one, the play of the game as well as the weather could have made the ball deflate too. There was no definitive proof. And Tom Brady gets suspended for 4 games. What was the suspension for? The possibility that he may have known that there was tampering with the football. Not that he did it, not that he told someone to do it, but that there was a possibility that he may have known that it was done.
Because they don't want to kill his career, so obviously you make him look like the golden boy and you use that possibility word.
Oh.
If it was anything of a possibility, you wouldn't be suspended for it.
After us, they ain't gonna try to give no light.
If anything of a possibility, you wouldn't be suspended for it. Plain blank period.
I mean,
so that means
Ezekiel
they knew
Elliott
something.
got suspended and he didn't do nothing wrong.
They knew something, and when they knew something, they did something. But then they try to protect his name by using possibility. Because possibility leads to questioning, and questioning meaning there's no right or wrong answer when it comes to a possibility. As in, I feel like they was wrong, as in you feel like they was right, because that's a possibility on whatever you feel. So whatever you feel is whatever you feel.
So why did they do better with an inflated ball? How did how do you explain that we beat them even worse in the second half than we did in the first?
That team was horrible. I'm not even talking about on the Colts' behalf, because that team was horrible anyways.
I mean, it was the AFC Championship game. I mean,
and what they do?
They got their asses
nutted up
because we was the Patriots. And then on top of which, right after this happened, all these quarterbacks in the NFL coming out being like, oh, this is a witch hunt. Aaron Rodgers says he overinflates his balls because he likes them to be harder. Eli Manning puts his balls through like a 30-minute rigorous thing to get his balls just the way he like them. I'm just saying.
That's just like saying you watch baseball, right?
Yeah.
That's like when the pitcher got the little thing and they tar and they just same difference.
Listen, I don't know. I'm
call
just gonna
it cheating if you want to, and call it normal if you want.
I'm going to say that this was a situation where other people were crying about the Patriots winning. That's the same reason why Robert Kraft is getting investigated for seeking the companionship of a woman that he paid for. You think that would have happened to Jerry Jones? No. It happened to Robert Kraft because he owns a team that can't lose.
No, it happened to Robert Kraft because he actually went into a spot that was under FBI surveillance. So that's his own dumbness.
He's a 77-year-old man. Why are you going to go after a 77-year-old man whose wife just died? Like, come on. Give him a break. Anyway, so Nick Caserio wants to lead the Patriots. We'll see what happens. Right now, he's the number 2 guy. This is actually a lateral move for him. It's not a promotion. But
it is, though.
It's not. It's not.
He's not going to being...
He'll be the GM,
but right now
he's the number 2. He's number 2 to Belichick.
I thought he was like a player personnel guy.
Nah, he's kind of like a GM. Like, he helps make picks.
Kind of like an is.
Yeah, it's kind of like an is different.
Yeah.
But he does more than a GM. He helps makes picks, but he also helps with training. He's on the field. He's got he's one of the guys with a headset on. He helps develop plays.
So in the GM, you sitting in the box chilling. You ain't on the field or none of that.
True, but all you do is worry about player personnel, where he does a little bit more than that. He works on the training and everything. But he's basically number 2 to Belichick.
Okay.
He's the closest thing to a number 2 to Belichick. So it is kind of a lateral move. And I understand where he's coming from, though. He wants to work with his boys. You know what I'm saying? These are people that have good relationships. There's nothing wrong with that. And I think the Patriots are putting a little bit too much stock in this situation. You only have this guy for 1 more year. To let him go isn't necessarily the worst thing in the world. I don't know how it would impact us, but we'll see what happens in the future. And yeah, we'll just have to see what happens. And then we have Todd Gurley. He has arthritis knee. I don't know how big of a deal that's going to be. His trainer, Trevell Gaines, confirms that he does have arthritis, but they said that's something that everybody knew was going to happen from surgeries that he had in college. So,
like I tell you, you already know what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
If he's not 100%, they ain't making that playoffs.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll see what happens. They say he got to boost strength, conditioning, manage his weight, and also manage his reps. So we'll see what happens with that in the future. And then one little spotlight of news that I got right before I came here is that the Saints are considering making Michael Thomas the highest paid wide receiver in the NFL. And I don't know if I'm mad about that decision. I'm
not mad about that, but I also saw, too, on my way in, too, is Atlanta's about to sign Julio for more money.
Oh, yeah. They're going to give him his contract.
Yeah, so depending on who gets signed first, depending on who going to piggyback off of who.
Yeah.
If I'm Julio, I'm waiting for him to get signed. Because, the Saints already want to sign Michael Thomas to be the highest paid receiver. If I'm Julio, I'm going to wait a second.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna get that type of money, too.
I would think it would be weird to pay Julio as much as you'd pay Michael Thomas. Julio is great, but he's on his way down. Michael's still on his way up.
But what you're not realizing that Julio is Atlanta.
He is.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, absolutely.
Therefore, you can't tell no Falcons fans anything wrong about Julio.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can say his development's going down, but he also has...
I don't think his development's going down. I don't even think his production is going down, but he's closer to that down where Michael is still on the incline.
But now he got 2 other receivers that help him out. So that helps him out. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
And now they're going to be together for 2 years in a row. So that's changes. Now that you know each other, you know what each other is really capable of doing. So it's kind of like you got Ridley over there.
Yeah.
Calvin
Ridley and
then you got Sanu.
Yeah, Mohamed Sanu, and I think they still have Hardy.
And Hardy.
Justin
so it's kind of like now you know what those 3 guys can do, and those 3 guys actually put up not great stats, but pretty good stats.
Yeah, they put up quality stats. They were one of the best trios in the NFL.
Yeah, so now you go into like talking about money-wise, well, Julio gonna get paid, man.
Yeah, he at the end of the day, he's got to be paid, and I think he definitely deserves like top 5. I think he deserves top 5 paycheck, but if you hypothetically speaking, if you give Michael Thomas $18 million a year and then Julio gets 19, like that.
No, I'm not saying. I'm saying if you give Michael Thomas $18 million a year, you give Julio like 16 and a half.
Yeah, maybe even 17.
Maybe 17.
Maybe even 17. I just don't think that he should get paid more than Michael Thomas.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying if I'm Julio, I'm waiting to see what Michael Thomas to get so I can piggyback off of what I'm going to get.
Oh, absolutely.
You get what I'm saying? Because if Julio go out there and get signed first for 17, they might come back and turn and get Michael Thomas 22, 24. Now, if Michael Thomas go out there and get 22 mil, shit, you can get Julio maybe able to get 19, 18, 18, 5, 19. So that's why I'm only saying that if I'm Julio, I would wait for Michael Thomas to get signed. Because if he's the highest paid receiver, well, I'm piggybacking off of the highest paid receiver.
Oh, definitely.
You get what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying in that situation.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. We didn't have a whole lot of content for you, but we do have a special little segment. And we compiled our own list of the top 10 football movie picks for you to watch. So we took 5 each to figure out what movies we think are the best. And do we want to start from the bottom of the list, or we want to start from the top of the list?
Well, either way, my list is more random.
Yeah, I think my list is kind of random too,
Yeah, so
except
I
for
don't
where
have-
I think is the number one. But besides that, all right. So I'll let you go first.
For my number one, how I feel is number one, or just
Whatever you want to do. Pick it random or pick an order.
well, if I was to go number one, I was a kid, so I'm going Little Giants.
Little Giants, man.
you
Little
know,
girl putting a fridge on her
you know what I'm
back.
saying? Little ice box. My girl, little ice box. But
That's
Little
the same
Giants,
movie where the dude had a snot bubble blowing in his nose, right?
yeah. And then they did the trick play. So I would say Little Giants is my number one, is because I grew up watching that. It's almost like the Little Rascals. You grew up watching that, and
One of those movies that makes you want to play football as a
yeah,
kid.
and then it's like as you get older, like when I was like watching it as like being in college, because I used to still watch it in college.
Yeah.
You understood it for what it was, like two brothers going at it.
Yeah.
One brother's up here, he already got his whole football program established, and then this other brother convinced his daughter convinced him to start his own program, and then they had like the scrub kids from the neighborhood, and the brother had the best kids from the neighborhood. They meet up, and then the average Joes beat the main people.
Yeah.
They had the cowboy stars, the cowboy uniforms and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so I would
it
go
was
with,
nice.
I would definitely go with Little Giants as my number one if I was to pick, non-biased or anything like that,
Okay.
because it's something that I actually grew up on,
Nice. All right, my number one is Remember the Titans. One, because huge Denzel Washington fan. Two, not only do I love this cast, but it was really like an all-star cast before you knew some of these guys were going to be like big name actors. But I just love the story, a white school and a black school get integrated, and you have such great guys on both sides of the ball, and finding a way to bring these kids together in a way that will make them play together. It was just an epic movie, and my favorite moment is, I don't want their offense to gain another yard.
But can I tell you something
Yeah.
though? What a lot of people don't realize about that movie, like they utilize it as a white school and a black school coming together and going, when they went to football camp.
Yeah.
Football camp happens every year in college, in some high schools. So therefore, like, that's how you bring the whole team together as one. So I love the way they did that, and they went back to the old war zone and stuff like that. But like in colleges and stuff like that, like school might start in September. School starts September 4th.
Yeah.
As a football player, you have to be on campus August 12th, August 13th.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like it's the same aspect. Whereas you got like 3 days, 4 days, 5 days in college. So it's different, So it's kind of like, but the way they utilized it was on a racial point of view to bring the races together. And when he said, "Hey, you're gonna learn something about the next person next to you," and then they have to come up there and sing and revving them singing. So kind of like how they brought it together was pretty dope.
Yeah.
But that happens all the time in football
exactly.
too. Yeah.
It was a really great story. I really appreciated that movie, and it's one of those movies. It's classic. It just holds up. What do you got next?
My number two would be Gridiron Games.
Love that movie.
I would say Gridiron Games because you had a whole bunch of like street kids that was in a juvenile detention center. You had The Rock, which is one of my guys.
Yeah,
You
one of
had
my favorites.
Exhibit at that time.
Yeah, which was a surprisingly good ad. You know?
He was actually really good as the assistant and stuff like that. And it just shows you like it's almost like when you're coaching. I know a lot of Pop Warner coaches out there. No disrespect to them or anything, but it's kind of like when you're coaching a Pop Warner team, and like you see a kid out there that maybe don't have cliques or maybe can't afford to play, and you as a man, you as a person, you as a coach, you're like, yo, don't even worry about that. I got you, man.
Yeah.
Like I just need you to be here.
Yeah.
Because you take every kid for what they're worth, and every kid has a different situation. Like you have kids out there that their parents can afford things, but you have kids out there that their parents can't afford things. So it's kind of like from that point of view, and to see what like The Rock was doing, coming out of pocket, going against what the detention center wanted him to do, setting up a schedule where kids didn't even want to play them, and then a couple of kids on the team end up getting in trouble, getting shot, and it's like it shows you real life stuff and real life situations. So.
And showing them that there's more to life than what they know.
Yeah, because some of them was really game banging and couldn't get along, and then football brings you together, and that's showed me and that was the biggest thing is sports bring people together no matter what on any page,
Yeah, exactly. I love that, and the one of my favorite moments is when he makes that dude hit him. When he's like, because he was afraid to get hit, and he was like, "You're gonna run through me," and he made him he kept going until he put him on his ass. That was a great moment. For me, my next one is Any Given Sunday.
It's one of my favorites.
I love Any Given Sunday because I'm Willie beaming. Yo, that movie. It had so many aspects to it. Like, it's a serious movie, but because you have you have that addition to Jamie Foxx, so you're gonna get that comedy. And sometimes it's just accidental comedy. Sometimes it's real comedy. But one of my favorite things about that movie isn't what happens in the movie. It is, but it's one thing you don't know is that one, Jamie Foxx and LL Cool J hated each other, and the fight scene in the locker room was real. Like LL Cool J really knocked the hell out of Jamie Foxx. And the funny part is Jamie Foxx in his stand-up said that, like, this dude thought he was really playing for a professional football team. He was like, "Yo, we're actors," you know. And but that movie had so many dimensions to it, and it was another one of those movies, man. You could just watch it over.
What
and
I
over
really like
again.
about it was like you see them because when you're playing football, you see them with the tinted out visors and their swag. Their swag was crazy. In that movie. Crazy.
Yes.
That's when before people was getting swagged out on the field. Like people always had a little swag, but Any Given Sunday made you swagged out. You watched that, you was swag. You wanted to tint your visor. You wanted to wear a certain type of gloves. You wanted to wear your socks a certain way. You wanted to spat your cleats up with tape. Like, their swag was like ridiculous in that movie. Ridiculous.
Yeah. And you know what? Another thing that in that movie I thought about while you were talking about is something that I think as a football player you appreciate is Jamie Foxx's little rant to Al Pacino when he was like, he got a suit because he needed to go to a wedding and the agent or whatever bought him a suit, and then it dropped him in the draft, and then he goes to a team where the coach wanted him to be like a cornerback or whatever, and then he hurts his arm, so he drops back to being a backup and a journeyman, and like he was always talented, but it wasn't seen in him because like the coaches he was with couldn't see him only could see him one way instead of for what he was actually good at.
Like your guy Terrell Pryor type.
Like my guy Terrell Pryor, exactly. So that was definitely one of my favorites. What do you got next?
My next one would be, I gotta go with the Underdog movie. It should have been a little higher, but I gotta go with Rudy.
Yes. Yes. I was hoping that would be one of the movies you picked.
Rudy was my movie because of the simple fact is he was at the University of Notre Dame, which has a lot of history. Didn't have the grades, didn't have the money to play, or
the physicality,
size or nothing. And then he had the guy in that movie that believed in him, tutored him, got his grades right, and then he was able to walk onto the team and actually wait for his shot to come. He got his shot and never let up. And I think that speaks volumes because at times where you're playing sports and you're playing at a collegiate level, or even in high school and you're playing in high school, there's times where you want to give up, but that movie just shows you that you can't give up. Like, you got to keep on to the grind, because the more you grind, the harder you work. Hard work always beat talent when talent's not working hard. And that's what that movie showed me.
And what you saying that's one of my favorite moments in the movie is when one of the players gets mad at Rudy because every play he plays like it's a championship game.
We call those practice heroes.
Practice heroes. He was a practice hero, but he was doing it to earn that spot, and he gave it 100% every time, 110% even, and that's eventually what there was so much respect from his fellow teammates that they offer up their slots for him. So that was an amazing movie. Next for me, I think for some people this might be a weird choice, but this is hands down one of my favorite. I can watch this one over and over again, and that's The Replacements with Keanu Reeves. I love this movie because it has a serious factor, but it's absolutely a comedy at the same time. I love when the real players flip Keanu Reeves' car, and then the two defensive linemen come out. Yeah, the two offensive linemen come out,
Yep.
and they're like, oh, put my boy's car back, and he calls him a son of a bitch. He's like, son of a bitch, son of a bitch, and starts shooting at his car. I'm like, that, and that rings out because they're offensive linemen and they protect their quarterback.
Yep.
I love so many moments about that movie. It's just filled with just classic moments, and it has an all-star cast of people that if you
and that showed you when it was like that was when the NFL was in a lockout. I guess it was a lockout.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that was kind of like the dynamic of that situation. But that movie, like that one thing I always say, I never thought Keanu Reeves was an epic actor, like a high-level actor. I always thought he was more like BC level. Okay. But he always chooses great movies, man. He's always in some of the best movies, and this is one of them. Okay. What do you got?
Next, I gotta go with my guy when Cuba Gooding Jr. and Tom Cruise. Show me the money.
Show me the money.
And Jerry Maguire.
Yes.
And the reason why I love Jerry Maguire because it actually shows you like what a lot of players go through. As in when you're out there balling, you're balling for contracts. You got a good agent that's gonna protect you, get you paid, and that's what it's about. Like so, from that aspect of things, you got people that comes from bad neighborhoods, bad environments, and you see his mom in there, you see his wife, his kids, and he's just playing to get that money. And when he finally got that money, it was the best feeling in the world. The Quan. You know what I mean? So it's like, so I look at it from that, and it showed you football from a money prospect more so. Like just playing.
It was very much so about the relationship between agent and player, and also how much money does come into play when it comes to sports. But once again, like that was when Cuba Gooding Jr. was in his prime. I love that movie. It was so great. You had me at hello. Yep. That's one that and Show Me the Money. Those two epic lines from that movie that will always remain timeless. But I definitely love that movie a lot. When you gave me that one on your list, I was a little bit jealous. So next for me on this list, a little bit kind of a newer movie. I went with The Blind Side. I don't consider myself to being an emotional person. Yeah. But that movie puts me in my feels a little bit. I'm not going to lie. I'm man enough to admit when a movie puts me in my feels, and that's one of them. I love Sandra Bullock. Some people don't like her, but I absolutely love her. I think that she is one of the greatest actresses of our time. But that movie was just so big. I know that it's based on a real person, but I know that they kind of changed up the real person, Michael Orr. He played football his whole life. He didn't have to be taught how to play football. But the fact that a family took him in when he was homeless and helped him find his way, and brought him in as one of their own, got him to college, where he might have ended up dead in jail, selling drugs or whatever. It worked out.
Yeah. And he got a lot of riff-raff for that anyways, but
let's bang these last ones out.
Last one out. I had Friday Night Lights on here, but I want to switch it up. Yeah. And I want to go with the concussion. And the reason why I want to say the concussion, because the concussion actually shows you what football players go through with all that hard hitting and stuff like that, and the CTE protocol nowadays. And, sometimes people going through hard things and you really can't knock it because their head's getting knocked around and stuff like that. So, that's why I try to switch it up and go concussion.
All right. And then my final choice was The Water Boy. Cause
Mama said.
Mama said. No, you wrong, Colonel Sanders. That movie is just hilarious. It's one of Adam Sandler's greatest movies, and I absolutely love it. It's hilarious, and it's a great watch, and it's a football movie, and it's not a football movie. It's just a definite must watch for football fans. With that being said, got to close out the show.
If you get a chance, watch All American. That's a new one on Netflix.
Yes, and that's a TV show. If you like TV shows, my favorite football TV show is actually Friday Night Lights. Probably one of the best football shows, one of the best shows, and has one of the greatest endings of any show. With that being said, we have all of our social media up right now. We have for Instagram at @gymbag_ENT. We have Twitter, #GymENT, and we have Facebook, Gymbag Entertainment, @Gymbag Entertainment. Please check us out. Check out our YouTube channel, and that's Gymbag Entertainment. And our website, even though it does not have much content on it right now,
It's coming.
GymBagEntertainment.com is up and running. We will have content very soon. We're working on getting people together. If you don't have anything else,
I don't have anything else, man. Just
so until
share,
next
like,
week,
subscribe. Until next week.
see you in the end zone.